Hey everybody, I'm Brady Wyrick,
I'm Jason Rosen.
and we are the Zyme guys.
Yes, we are.
Jason, I've missed you, dude.
Yes, it's been a while. Ready to pour out some more content.
So, first things first, how are things in the Netherlands? What's going on there?
Thankfully, things are starting to open up. The weather's been just absolutely gorgeous. My son goes back to school full time in about a week and a half,
Nice.
which is big. They do more year-round type of schooling here, like summer breaks only 4 to 6 weeks. So getting him back to school full time has been a big deal. He's going twice a week now. Outdoor seating, like restaurants are going to open June 1st. So that's another really nice thing. You know, when you live in a city, it's nice to be able to, go to a restaurant. It's one of the, the things
Funny
that
because
drives you nuts, right?
that's what we're gonna talk about today. But
Yes.
what I'm trying to do, Jason, is I'm trying to be a little tactful here. When does the barbershop open?
Yeah. This is not a hairstyle I'm trying to bring back from the 1970s or 80s, but it's a good point. They opened about 2 weeks ago, but the waiting list is so long because it's been so long that I won't be getting a haircut till next week. So the next time we shoot a video, this mop will be gone.
So we're going to talk about a bit of a polarizing topic today.
Yes.
That's the topic's going to be diet.
Yeah,
Uh,
or just food in general.
Food in general, because unfortunately in the United States we get this just dead wrong. I There's not a trip to the grocery store that doesn't go by that I just kind of walk around and look at what people are putting in their carts, and I look at their overall general appearance, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad because people really, they're stuck in that whole like calorie counting crap.
Yeah.
And
They're looking at the labels for all the wrong reasons.
right. So there they are in the grocery store, gloves, masks, and buying Diet Coke, and it makes me scratch my head. Um, but where do we start with this? What? Uh,
Well, I think we can, since, if we break it down to enzymes, we can really get a good idea of why the food supply has gone so south, even if you're eating natural foods. Like I don't subscribe to any one diet for any single person, um, or any eating lifestyle. The number one thing is you need to eat foods that are as natural, as unprocessed as possible.
right.
And in season, like you don't want to eat winter vegetables in the summer. The lectin content and things, they dramatically change. And one of the biggest things is when you're eating foods that are out of season, they need to be exported. And when you look at enzymes, so you pluck a fruit off the vine, you dig a vegetable out of the ground, the enzyme content starts to drop immediately.
Yeah. So first off,
And
first off,
yes,
natural food in its natural state is loaded with enzymes, and
yes,
those enzymes are going to help you help your body break down and absorb the nutrients that comes from that food. So our good friend Andy Barlow, when he says God food heals and man food kills, what he means is
yes,
that food the way God intended it is loaded with those enzymes that helps your body break down. The more man fusses with that and changes it, the more the enzymes die off, and you don't get those enzymes when you eat that particular food.
absolutely. And even if you're eating natural foods that have been sitting on the shelf for a while, pesticides affect the enzyme concentration in the food. The amount of minerals in the soil, which is the soil is so depleted these days, we don't follow the proper farming philosophies or remineralizing the soil. That affects the enzymes. Enzymes need minerals to work properly. And it's called protein hydrolysis, is what's breaking down a protein into an amino acid so your body can actually use it. And if you can't do that, you have incompletely digested proteins that can start taking up residence all over your body, especially when your gut has breaches in it, which every single person in modern day society will have some form of this going on. And it creates a cascade of inflammation and all kinds of problems. We can take all the fancy, methylated vitamins and the coolest, newest, nutrients that are out there, and they're all helpful. But if you don't get down to the basics, you're going to get sick over and over and over again. You need enzymes desperately, and they just don't exist in today's food supply like they used to.
Oh.
And even that's why we feel supplementation is critical. I mean, if you're growing food out of your own garden and eating that most of the time, and you have your own animals that you're taking care of, feeding them properly, caring for them properly, slaughtering them properly, and you're able to handle fermented foods and things like that because your genetic structure allows for that. Yeah, then those are the type of people that probably don't need to supplement many enzymes. Then they could look at other things outside of that because they have the basics down. That is, they have the God plan down.
Right.
Now, that in modern day society, like, it's painstaking to do work like that. Grow all your own food and things like that, or live off the grid. That would be, that's number one choice. Number two choice is to supplement with enzymes because you desperately need them. And then you get into the quality of the enzymes. But that's why I tell people what supplement should I take? The first thing I tell them is you should take a digestive enzyme.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've been asked
that's your multivitamin. Throw any multivitamins away. Not that there's bad, there's good multivitamins out there that are natural,
right.
But enzymes number one.
That's a question that I've been asked for years. What's the best multivitamin to take? And my answer's always been enzymes. And it's funny you say that about the first choice, because right here in Idaho where I live here for the fishing. I don't make any qualms about that. I live here because the fishing is fantastic, and there's a river right here by my house. And when I float that river, there's a homestead that I float by that it's out in the middle of nowhere. Like, access to this thing has got to be at least an hour on a dirt road. The thing's totally off the grid.
Wow.
And those people are surviving off the land, and they're probably getting plenty of enzymes. But in modern society, that doesn't happen. I notice your wired headphones there, and we could make a plug here for electromagnetic radiation and what it does to enzymes.
Yes, and these are EMF-free headphones, by the way.
Yeah. We'll leave a link for those on this in this discussion.
Yeah, right.
But those also kill.
But yeah, the EMFs are the EMFs are decimating the food supply. And when you go to the grocery store now, you see this being more and more common. They have RFID tags, so you can just put up things in your cart, and your food just gets scanned, and you just get scanned, and you walk out the door, and it takes your payment through your credit card through scanning. So that's the way of the future for supply chain. But every time a food gets scanned with an EMF, it affects it because food contains resonant cells that are coherent when they're super healthy. So their frequency of the cell, when it's coherent, has way more enzymes. It's going to give your body like a ton of what's called light. Biphotonic light is what we actually eat from our food. So if you think of a crappy fast food hamburger versus a piece of fruit growing in the most beautiful and rich soil, beautiful clean water, like, you're going to have something that has a ton of biphotonic light just coming off of it, where the burger is going to have nothing. So what your body really needs is a ton of light, and that's how we communicate through our gene deck. Signal the cell signaling.
Right.
All that is done through biphotonic light. And you just see it in people. As we get old, we look dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. It's like the light is going out, and that is literally,
right. And
that is literally what's happening. And
the worse your diet is,
your body drops as you. The worse it's gonna. And as you age, you lose more and more and more enzymes. So when people say, I produce my own enzymes, why should I supplement them? It's because you have no chance of producing enough in today's society, unless you're living in that homestead where Dr. Wyrick goes fishing.
I'll take a picture of it for you next time I float by it.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
So
I think,
and one of the main, let's go ahead and just put the plug in here now for DigestZyme. What people do is they hear people talking about digestive enzymes, so they're going to run to the grocery store to buy a digestive enzyme, and frankly, you're wasting your money. You go to the health food store, you might be doing a little bit better, but the most enzymes that you're going to get when you do that is around 2 to 4. There might be some proteases in there that help you break down that protein, but there's really just nothing on the market like DigestZyme. How many
Right,
are in this?
yeah.
There's what, 24 different enzymes?
23 different enzymes in the product, and they're all vegan and plant-based enzymes. A lot of
Right.
the ones you see at the health food store come from pigs. And there's nothing really wrong with that unless you don't want to consume, you know, pig-based items. If you're a vegan, you're Jewish, you're halal, those are just flat out not even an option for you. But the other problem is with only having a few enzymes is the different ranges of pH that your body needs to break down food in your small intestine, your stomach, your blood, your large intestine greatly varies. And it depends on what you're eating. Are you eating a fat, a sugar, a carbohydrate, fiber? All of that matters. So the enzymes in there cover all these bases at all the different pH ranges that you're going to see in a human digestive system and in the human bloodstream. So that's why it's super important to have a really complex, well-rounded digestive enzyme. And,
Not to
why
mention
we chose
in
US
a
enzymes to be our
cobalt
sponsor.
bottle that
Yes. So
blocks the light radiation from killing the enzymes in the capsules itself.
exactly. When you have a living source nutrient, especially one that's sensitive to light, like a enzyme or a probiotic, the packaging is huge. It needs to be nitrogen flushed. It needs to be dry as a Sahara desert in there, and it needs desperately protection from light. And that's what you get. Yes. Yeah,
Awesome.
huge. From
Jason,
inception
I think we've gone a little bit long on this one, but it's
all right. Hey, it's an important subject. Food supply it's a big problem, but your solution around it to at least level the playing field back to where it should be is a high quality digestive enzyme.
So I guess the take home message then is find a natural whole food diet program that works for you.
Yes.
And supplement with digestive enzymes.
Yeah, that's the first place to start if you're looking to change your health and change your life.
Yep, absolutely. All right, man. It's always good to see you.
Yes, you as well.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll see
you
you on
next
the
time.
next video.